Don't worry, it's all going to become clear. I'm just going to go into, this is assuming you've watched the other tutorials, of course. I'm going into Revit, and I'm just going to convert these. Actually, I don't need that one. I'm going to dive straight in from 1 to 3. Okay. Oh, room names. That's my bad. Right. Okay. So we've got that one. So if I go Radiance file, Radiance address. Oh, dynamite, dynamite, dynamite. Right. Input folder. Okay, I need to set this to manual, don't I? Otherwise it keeps crashing. Right. Okay. So we've got one. So what we've got there is our imported geometry. But what if at the same time I say, you know what? I want to make a simple Radiance room, and I'm going to prep this one down here. I'm on manual, so that won't go wrong. Okay, and then so basically I'm going to combine the two previous discussed ones into one, and I've got a feeling what's going to happen. It's going to drop the two items on top of each other, so we need a sort of a way to correct that. So if I go display, notice I'm keeping them. I could have consolidated them together, but for the time being, I just want to keep them separate. But now, if I feed that into there, and I just want to switch this off. Right, and I'm going to save that. Yeah, save it as whatever. Right, now. Right, let's just run that through. Do you remember that we need to scale that of one? Do you remember one of them has been made in millimeters? So I need to rescale that, otherwise it's not going to make sense. It was this one, wasn't it? So I just need to run that through the scale option. Do that again, and there shouldn't be a problem. Yeah. Okay. I I wasn't expecting them to. I was expecting them to overlap, but I'm going to show you what I can do anyway. So, well, firstly, you can see we've brought two models together. They're all like sort of exactly the same, but if I wanted to, there is an option here to move that geometry. So what I could do is go Radiance file address, use the native Dynamo uh, option, vector option, and I'm going to say, I don't know, I'm going to push it 5 meters. Let's make it 15, so it's clear. 15 meters in a particular direction. Now, if I do it that way, let me set this so we have some impact. So we're actually going to move one of those. We're going to move it. Yep. Do you see that? And there's. I suppose we can do this. I mean, at least it shows you now how you can layer these options up, right? So, and I'm going to rotate it 45 degrees. I believe it's clockwise, isn't it? Clockwise. So let's do that 135. Okay, and if I just run this one, okay. So yeah, so we've built that. Actually, and you know what? I'm going to sphere. I'm going to put like it's going to be like modern art. I'm going to put a big ball in the middle. Yes, sphere radius. No, I want to make a sphere. Sphere. Sphere by center and radius. Yeah. So what I need that, and I need make radiance geometry. So I need to plug that in. What do I need here? Name ball. We'll call it a ball. Incidentally, if you try and use a cone in the current version of Dynamo, that actually crashes Dynamo. But I guess that's how well this software gets vetted, right? Boolean. Oops, look, just puts things where you can't even reach them. Materials glass, no, it is not. And it's just going to be a. It's just going to be a sort of a grey coloured ball, right? 8-foot folder path. That's all okay. So if I well, I could even just sort of prep it like this, like all the other stuff. Okay, and I'm going to call this test 3. Doesn't really matter the name because I'm going to bring it all together at the last minute anyway. But the point I'm showing is how you can sort of combine all these functions and sort of layer them all up and bring them together. See that? There's the ball. It's not very big ball, is it? But radius. All right, let's make it bigger. And then obviously what I need to do is let's just display that as a Radiance file. Ironically, I don't think this actually has any impact on the. I suppose actually it will impact on this room here, won't it? Okay, that's all fine. Did this work? Yes. Nil. Radiance file address. Well, that makes no sense, does it? Why would that have worked? Display Radiance model, Radiance address. Have another go. Well, it's thinking about it. Yeah, there you go. You see that? 1 minute it worked, next minute it doesn't work, next minute it works. Makes life difficult. Alright, let me switch that up. So now, what we've actually got is like, we've just got low, so we've sort of, I've used the pre-made room function, I've imported a room, I've just made like a native Dynamo object, and they're all there. So what I can do, and what I want to show is I can bring all these together, right? So if I just go to the list function, right, and 1, 2, 3, so yeah, so I'm going to bring that together. I'm going to bring this one in, and I'm going to bring this one in, and then what I'm going to do is I'm just using the same nodes over and over, and I am going somewhere with this. Just bear with me one moment. Oh no, yeah. All right, and I'm going to call this like test final. Now, all right, firstly I'm going to run all that through. So what this is doing now is it's taking all those different Radiance files and it's just made it into one final Radiance file called node output to notepad, and yeah, and it's put it all into like a folder called test file, and it's called it like daylight study, and it's everything in one file rather than more separate, right? So I've got that now, and like that's like this is with Visual Code. It's not a Dynamo problem. It's a visual coding problem where your canvas starts to become extremely cluttered, right? But if you think about it, we've just made all this, and because of the way I've set this up in that it's saving files as you're going, what I can now do, and I'm so confident I'm going to save it so I can backtrack if I've got this wrong, is delete absolutely everything, right? And in fact, I'm just going to start like a fresh session of Dynamo. So if there is any incumbent sort of errors, which well, actually it's Dynamo, so yeah, that's very possible. No, I don't want to save those changes. Right, so I've started a fresh session, but remember, I've still got this here. So what I'm going to do is call up a string, I'm going to get that code, I'm going to paste it in. I'm sure some of you have already guessed where I'm going with this. And now all I have to do is go to Radiance Core, display. Really, you should go through one, but yeah, this will work just fine. And that is going to load in. There's no, yeah, phew. Actually, I'll be honest with you, I was really nervous that it wasn't going to work. Yeah, and it's all, and it's, look, we've got it all back and it works, but we have a nice clean canvas. So, because what I didn't say before is the visual coding, every time you have an object or a box, that is like it's sucking up your computer memory. So your computer gets slower and slower and slower. So what we've done is sort of basically write it onto your hard drive and bring it back in. And yeah. So it's locked in, and you could use the Dynamo stuff, and you could sort of pull this apart and start to separate it again. But really, this is like the final bit. But it kind of shows you it shows you the versatility of the application. I don't need to do that anyway. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys that.